We're not even going to go. We're no notes. We're going to make this thing happen.
Love it. No notes.
What you
I was gonna say, how do you? I was the whole time trying to I don't know how to hold
I
this.
don't. This is weird. This
Holding
is like
it
a
is
Gen
weird.
Z thing or something. I
Yeah, they
guess
hold 'em.
it's like it's super odd, and it's heavy. These things are heavy. Getting a little workout right here.
Just like
Anyway,
today's topic. It's
a
heavy.
little heavy. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Coaching with Content podcast. I'm Darren, and as always, this is Dustin. Dustin, what's up, man?
I like that you say as always because
One time it won't be.
eventually it's not gonna be our plan was to just have me on every now and then,
Yeah, now you're just in it.
and now I'm the Andy Richter up in here.
I like. I'm going to start calling.
I
you
just
Andy.
dated myself by saying
You
that.
did, but that's all right.
But all the cool kids know who Andy Richter
They're like,
is.
"Ooh, Andy, we love
Richter,
Andy."
shout out Andy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Does that make me Conan?
I'm here. Oh, you're definitely Conan. There you go.
Like that fits, right?
Yeah.
I kind of have some Conan hair going on if I ever didn't wear this hat, but I always wear the hat, so
Always.
we're just going with it. So anyway, Dustin, today is an episode that we wanted to be a little bit more candid on, a little bit more. I would even say it's an important conversation, maybe one of the most important conversations to date on the podcast, only because I think today's topic hits everybody in some way, shape, or form. And that's really talking about mental health and stress and life, especially as a business owner. And most of those that are listening to this podcast are going to be coaches, consultants, going to be entrepreneurship, some type of business in some way, shape, or form. And I wanted to talk specifically about just kind of the mental aspect of this. One, because the last couple of weeks have been rough for me, in between my ears, if you will. I think there's a lot that I could unpack there. What I'll say is that, I'm at a place in the business that is we're putting out some new things. We're trying some new offers. We're working to bring to life something that's kind of deep in my soul, if you will. And maybe it's not going as quickly as I expected it to. Yeah. I wanted it to go faster. I wanted it to pop off and be this thing that just kind of, skyrocketed out of nowhere. And it's a little bit slower, which brings a lot of stress. And then you add to that, as a business owner, you're looking at paychecks and you're looking at things coming in and you're going, okay, is this able to sustain the family over here? I'm a guy that's got 4 kids now. So many kids, but 4 kids, and I'm looking at them going, how do I care for them? How do I provide for them? How do I give all the things that I know I want to provide? And in the midst of all that, just, from a family standpoint, we're talking about moving. Our kids are getting older and getting into bigger grades and trying to figure out school situations. And I would say the last couple of weeks has been really heavy, where I just felt like I just don't want to do this anymore, right? Like you find yourself just completely exhausted. And for me, I didn't want to burden even my wife with the idea, right? I didn't want to burden my friends with the idea. I didn't want to burden anybody else with where I felt I was at, because I was trying to get a grips with where I was at. Right? Like I didn't even have grips with what I was thinking and what I was feeling. And so I spent so much energy. I remember just finishing work a couple of weeks ago, and I go upstairs and I'm short with the kids. I don't really try to connect with the wife. I'm just like, let me just get to bed so that I can do this over again. Right? Like I just need the day to end. And it was probably a few days of that. And I probably talked to you a little bit about it, just in the sense of our business relationship and the things that I was thinking and feeling. But I don't know if I fully let even you into that, of just going, I am struggling. This is hard. This is not what I expected. I'm not sure this is what I want to be doing or building, like all that kind of stuff, right? And so after a few days of that, a few weeks of that, finally, I think it was yesterday, I called our mutual friend up, and I just said, dude, I'm struggling. I'm struggling. I don't see it. I can't see it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know how it's supposed to be different. I don't know what I'm doing. And we spent probably 2 hours on the phone yesterday just talking it out. And he didn't necessarily have, like, here's the solution to your problem, but he just listened, and he said some things to me, and he encouraged me in some ways, and just said, okay, here's my perspective on it, if you will. And it was beautiful, because at the end of that time, my problems weren't solved. My problems weren't over. We still have a lot of work to do on the business. We still have a lot of work to do in family dynamics and family relationships. There's still a house to be sold. There's still, like, all that kind of stuff. But some beautiful things came of it. And so as we were talking about sitting down and talking today, and I know this is something that's near and dear to your heart as far as mental health, and we'll get into a little bit of your story as well, but I just wanted to bring this up because I think a lot of us, especially guys that are out building businesses, maybe even are solopreneurs right now, maybe that just them or one or two people, it can be extremely isolating. It can be extremely scary, and it can be extremely stressful. And if we're not careful, it can eat us alive. Yeah. And so with that being said, Dustin, and kind of framing this conversation with that story there, I know mental health and your journey, you've even written a book on it. Shout out. You can plug that here in a minute too. But what's your experience been as an entrepreneur and as you know, a family man and all of that, balancing the weight of all of that and your mental health? What's that been like? What's that journey for you been?
Yeah. What immediately comes to mind when you ask me that question is probably one of the most important words or values in my life, has been my whole life, just kind of naturally, is intentionality. And what I hear when people ask me that question is, you really only get out of life, anything, what you are willing to put in it.
Yeah.
And so there are days, yes, when you feel like giving up. There are days, yes, when you feel like throwing in the towel. But it's the resilience and intentionality to say, no, I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm going to keep doing it, is when you start to get stuff out of it. And like you said, when we were talking before the podcast, that just saying the thing, right, gets it out there. I'm a person who keeps a running list of quotes on my phone. And getting into the beginning of this podcast, there were two that popped in my head, and I wanted to pull them up.
Yeah.
And I think speak to this topic. Number one, I can't even remember who said this, so I don't even have this one cited. It says, your happiness is inversely proportionate to the shoulds in your life. I should be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. I should be a better father. I should be more successful. I should have more energy. I should eat better. I should.
Yeah. My counselor calls that shoulding on yourself.
Shoulding on yourself, exactly.
Yeah.
That does affect your happiness. And I think one of the things I've learned over the years in the entirety of the mental health battle is the way that you talk to yourself. Everybody talks to themselves, and if you're like, oh, crazy people talk to themselves, you talk to yourself more than anything else. I was just listening to I don't know how spiritual you're okay with getting into this, but I was at a big church recently in Atlanta. Louis Giglio is the pastor, and he was talking about this topic, talking about mental health. And he said, you know, a recent study shows that that you spend 100% of your life with yourself.
Let that sit for a minute. Yeah.
And you talk to yourself more than anyone else.
Yeah.
more than anyone else, you talk to yourself. So how are you talking to yourself?
Yeah.
Has been as a business owner, that has been more important than any strategy or
Right.
financial shift or
Right.
product offering or
Yeah.
video or framework or any of that
Right.
stuff. It's
Right.
really come down to how do I talk
Yeah.
to myself.
Well,
And I'll save the other quote for later.
yeah, that speaks so much to where I was at, even in the last couple of weeks, of just telling myself all of the things that I couldn't do
Yeah.
or I should be doing.
Yeah, it's those
right?
limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
When I first got into business, I had a friend of mine about my age. We went to college together. He's been a successful entrepreneur for 2 decades now, ever since college. He's
Yeah.
been an entrepreneur. He's
Yeah.
just wildly successful. And he kind of walked with me my whole first year of being a business owner and kind of going out on this thing on my own. And the whole first year, all he talked to me about every time we talked was retraining the limiting beliefs that I had
Yeah.
believed about myself for so
Yeah.
long,
Yeah.
about what was possible. And if you would have told me 5 years ago that what I'm doing now for a living was possible, I would have said, "There's no way.
Right.
That's literally impossible."
Yeah.
But that's the limiting belief that kept me from getting here. And it's not all about name it and claim it and believe it and it will come true and manifesting your own destiny. It's not about any of that type of stuff. It's just about the way that you talk to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And man, that just I did something here a few months ago that was really helpful in this area. Was I put a task in Asana. You're a big
Shout
sauna
out.
guy.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out Asana.
I put a task in Asana just to read my morning mantras every day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I've written down just 2 or 3 things that are every day I have to say this about myself to myself before anything else happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think I'm going to go another layer deep on this in the sense that you can't just allow that to be something that you read. You have to allow it to be something that you feel.
Yeah, it's got to get from your head to your heart,
Yeah.
100%. But it starts by actually doing it.
Right.
By actually saying it,
Right.
writing it, whatever. Yeah, I use, if really talking about this in a business ownership, but even more so, we're both artists, we're both creatives.
Yeah.
To me, one of the best books in this kind of intersection of mental health and artistry and creativity and that kind of thing is Julia Cameron's book, The Artist Way. And I started
Such a
when
good book.
when I got into kind of owning my own business is when I started using her practice of morning pages.
Yeah.
And morning pages is essentially, just to give you a 10-second overview, is where you journal out in the morning. You're basically your free conscious thought. Whatever pops in your head, you write it down.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what it's about. It could be, hey, I've literally written several times. I do not know what to write right now, so I'm just going to keep writing until something else comes out. And it's all the thoughts that are in your head. You just write them. And it ends up being helpful in so many different ways. Number one, you start to see the limiting beliefs that you have written down in front of you.
Yeah.
Because inevitably, if you're doing it for 3 pages is what she recommends, if you're doing it for that long, then that stuff's going to come out in black and white in paper right in front of you. And you're going to look at that and you're going to go,
Yeah.
wait, what? I believe that?
Yeah.
That's not good, right? And then you also get to the point where you can start to, like you said, you say the things.
Yeah.
What I do in my morning pages now every day is I write those things. And I need to practice saying them out loud more like you as well. But I do write them out every day.
Yeah.
Handwrite, not type. The hand
Yeah.
it's why they say you remember more things if you write down notes.
Yeah.
It's not about referencing the notes for later. You may never go back and look at them again. That's
Right.
fine. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But in that moment, the neurological connection of writing something down implants it more into the neural pathways of your brain, and you start to believe it. And so that's become a huge daily practice for me too, is those things. And it's not about the whole Stuart Smalley, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. It's not about that necessarily, but it is a little. It is a little, because you're retraining what you've believed about yourself for so many years.
Right. Right. And to your point, when you speak so much to yourself,
Because you do the most more than anyone else.
anyone else, and when the underlining is I'm not good enough, nobody likes me, I don't
Yep.
know what I'm doing. I've even heard it said that when you do that your brain then goes, well, now I'm going to figure out a way to make all those things happen.
Yeah, it's a little bit of the confirmation bias where
Yeah.
where whatever you believe you begin to see
Yeah.
kind of unfold out in front
Yeah.
of you,
Yeah.
even if it's not necessarily true. I know I read probably earlier this year about how the neural pathways work in your brain. Your brain will believe whatever you tell it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And so these things that you've been saying to yourself about yourself for so many years have become cold hard fact in your mind
Yeah.
because you've trained your brain to believe that as cold hard fact.
Yeah.
And that's where those limiting beliefs come in, and it's a real work. I think about the neural pathways, and psychologists talk about this as like they're the ditches and valleys and the canals that run through your brain, right?
Yeah.
And there's real ditch work that has to get done.
Yeah.
Ever seen those ditch witches that are running cables underneath people's yards and running stuff like that's the kind of work. It's messy.
Yeah.
That's the kind of work that it takes to retrain your brain.
Yeah. And and man, work is just a great word for that, because like, for example, I've said, oh, I read these morning mantras and I do this stuff, but then in the last few weeks, it didn't work, right? It like, I was still listening to the other voice, if you will.
Yeah.
And so you have to do the work of putting yourself in it. Like, that's why I say when you do that, I've noticed for myself, I have to move from just writing it or reading it to actually feeling it and connecting that head and that heart together. And when I do that, I can start to feel, okay, all right, we're moving in the right direction now with this. And we're getting to a place that's it's just doing that hard work, like you're saying, man.
Yeah, and it is hard work, and that's where a lot of us as business owners go, well, I'm too tired from all of the work to put in the work there.
Yeah.
But it's the catch-22 that if you don't work on yourself, then you can't work in your business.
Yep.
Thus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like people talk about that's what Lou Giglio was talking about. He was talking about self-care and how this has become it's a billion-dollar industry, multi-billion-dollar industry just in the United States. But it all comes down to what we believe about ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier, too, I wanted to get back to, you mentioned reaching out to our mutual friend just to be able to talk it out and say the things. The other quote I wanted to get to is, it's a pretty heavy, emotional short film that if you're not an emotional person, you may just go, well, this just made me sad and I don't like that. But it's based on a book, and there's a 30-minute animated short film of the same title. It's called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. And the whole thing is just basically mental health proverbs in this story and how it plays out. And at one point, it says in the book, it says, asking for help isn't giving up. It's refusing to give up.
That's good.
And it's just like, man, there's so many things. I mean, if you just need someone to speak truth into your life, go watch that 30-minute short film and you'll be like, yes, this is what I need to, these are the things I need to be telling myself.
That's good.
But I say all that to say, saying the thing, getting it out, writing it down, calling up a friend, doing the voice memo to, just getting it out of your head. You don't need anyone to fix it. And this is where all of our spouses, if you're married, me and my wife, the constant fight is, I don't need you to fix it.
Yeah.
I just need you to listen. And I'm like, well, that sounds insane to me. It sounds like you just broke your arm and you're refusing to go to the hospital and you just want me to hear about how bad it hurts.
Yeah.
And I'm going, let's go to the hospital.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not as dire as I need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just my arm hurts.
Yeah. I mean, even yesterday, when I called up our friend, his name's PJ. It's not like we need to hide.
Yeah, we're hide his identity to protect the innocent.
PJ, shout out to you, buddy.
43 creative.
43 creative. Good dude. But when I didn't call or even reach out to anybody else because I felt like I needed to have more of a, here's the problem that you can fix. Tell me what to do. And what I found myself doing on the call with him was just talking about it all, just letting it out. And so I think a lot of us, we feel like we have to come up with, we got to frame it in the right way. We have to explain it in the right way before we make the call. Like we have to figure out the way. Well, I know I need to call them, but I'm not going to do this until XYZ is done or whatnot. And what I just had to finally get to was just calling them and saying, I don't know why, dude, but I'm struggling. And then I just sat there, and then he asked a couple of questions, and then we go, and then now the conversation's off, and boom, 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 and we're here, and we're there, and we're blah, blah, blah. And all it took was me just doing that,
just
right? Just hitting send or hitting his name on my phone and getting him to call.
Yep.
And so that's why, if you're out there struggling today, if you're wrestling with it and you're going, what the heck do I do? Just do that. Find that person, make that phone call, send that text message, and I bet you'll be shocked at what happens on the other side of just being able to talk it out with somebody. And so, Dustin, I know that you've even kind of written a book on this.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't written a book in the sense of like, here's how to live better.
Right.
Mentally.
It's not 3 steps to better mental health.
Yeah,
or anything,
it's a short memoir of my life's journey through mental health and how I've always struggled with it through every season of life and what that looked like for me. And it's there's a couple things in there that I've learned, like the morning pages, where I'm like, this helped me in this season. Maybe it'll help you. But for the most part, it's just sharing that story. It's just sharing the story and saying, I've struggled with this. Maybe you have too. Let's find some connection and camaraderie there in the sense that we're all struggling. We just need to say the thing.
Yeah.
And so that was just 129 pages of me saying the thing.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I wanted my kids to kind of know that part of me.
Yeah.
And that's why I wrote it. So it's really just a story of a kid growing up in a semi-normal family and what that looked like all the way up to 40 years old when I released the book.
Yeah. Shout out where they can get it, just in case.
Sure. The book is called Growing Upward: My Lifelong Journey with Mental Health. You can get it at Amazon and all those places like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Dustin Peed, Pead.
Yes, sir.
That's good. So I know that we just kind of wanted to turn the camera on and have this dialogue in this way. So what I hear, let's give some practical steps here. What I hear us saying is that 1, we need to write it, and 2, we need to say it.
Yeah.
1, you need to write it. 2, you need to say it, and 3 would be repeat it. That's always our thing, right?
It's always our thing.
So, man, here it is. So write it, say it, repeat it. Those are the things that you need to do.
That's it.
And I think if you start there, and now obviously, Dustin, there are times that serious help needs to be found.
If you're spiraling perpetually, please ask for actual help, not just someone to listen to you.
Correct.
You got to ask for actual help. And let me just say, for the business owners who feel like they have to have it all together, again, asking for help is not giving up.
Yeah.
It's refusing to give up.
Yeah. If you take nothing else from this, hear that. Right?
Your strength is in refusing to give up. Mm-hmm. Well, how do you refuse to give up? By asking for help.
Yeah.
Just work that backwards for you in case you didn't get the quote.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah. That's good. No, I love that. And so, yes, we're not psychologists. We're not professionals here. We're not saying any of that stuff. And that's a whole thing there. But when you're in business for yourself, when you're out there grinding it out each and every day, you can find yourself, you will find yourself at this place.
Yeah.
And so what we're saying is an easy framework. If we're going to break this down to a framework, Dustin, it's going to be write it, say it, repeat it, right? Mm-hmm. And I love that. I need to even
it's
put
the stuff
that
that you need to get out for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's also the stuff that you need to be telling yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Write it, say it,
mm-hmm.
repeat it. So write and say and repeat what needs to get out of you.
Mm-hmm.
But then quickly replace might be a fourth one.
Oh, we're making this framework up as we go,
This
and
is
I'm
a
liking
candid conversation. But you do need to replace.
Yeah.
That 100% you
Yeah.
do. You need to get out what you need to stop believing.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it's out, you need to replace, because
Yeah.
scientifically, doesn't matter what you believe or don't believe,
Yeah.
scientifically speaking, that's where you're able to retrain your
Yeah.
neural pathways in your mind and start to begin to believe the things that actually add value and joy to your life and truth to your life,
Yeah.
instead of the other stuff that you're living.
Yeah. You got to hang on to the truth of who you are and what you bring, that you matter, that you're important, that the thing you're building, the thing that's inside of you, that you have to get out. You need to do the hard work of doing that. And sometimes that hard work is to your point, Dustin, asking for the help that will only allow that's what's beautiful about too what you're saying about replace is, in our conversation with PJ yesterday, he was able to say things to me, remind me of who I am, remind me
when you're so tired that you can't say the thing to yourself that needs to be said, having people like that in your corner that you can call up and say, I've done this many before, I need you to tell me X. Because I don't believe it, and I need someone else to say it to me.
Wow, even being that candid with it, right?
Yeah, and that's what PJ was eventually able to do with you, right?
Yeah.
He was in that call. He was able to say, like, look, I know you're not in a place to maybe believe this right now, but I need you to hear the hard truth. And hearing the hard truth is what being that good friend is about, right? So,
Man, that's so good. That's so good. So write it, say it, repeat it. What was that fourth one?
we had repeat.
No, it was repeat. Repeat was the third one. Then you added the
replace.
fourth one. Replace. There it is.
Replace,
there it is. Went right up my brain.
Viewers watching this, they're going, replace.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you make up a framework as you go.
Sure.
So I didn't have it written down in my notes, folks. That's the way that it works.
Yeah, this is a note-free podcast, except for my quotes note here. I just keep looking at it going like, dang, there's some good stuff up
Oh,
here.
man. Yeah, let's share this one, too. So, Dustin, any other final thoughts with, business ownership, mental health, the things that a lot of us deal with, like I said, in between our ears? Any other words of encouragement or things that you would share?
I mean, I got a note full of them right here. I was just looking at this.
Come on, give us one.
I came across a quote from Corey Ten Boom. She said, worry doesn't empty tomorrow of sorrow, but it empties today of strength.
Oh, Corey
just
hit it. Dropping
Corey
truth bombs.
Worry does not empty tomorrow of sorrow, but it empties today of strength.
Yeah. Often a lot that I carry around, Dustin, is the worry of something. It is the worry of something
what if
that
this doesn't work out.
Yeah, the what ifs, and
what if people find out I'm a fraud?
Yeah, that's
what if people find out I don't know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
What if people find out that I'm not as strong or as wealthy or as smart as they think I am?
Yeah. What if?
That's because in every single one of those things after that what if, we're all lies.
Yeah.
They're all limiting beliefs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to replace those.
100%.
What if
100%.
you are as smart as you hope you are? What if you are already as wealthy as you hope one day you will be?
Yeah.
What if you are actually as successful as you hope that one day you might be?
Yeah.
You already are.
Yeah. It's even the idea of what if this actually works the way that I think it will.
Yeah, and then there's a little bit of oh crap in there too, right? Like, what if this actually works? Oh no.
Yeah. but I'm gonna start a business.
Right.
What if it doesn't work? Is usually the first thought.
Right. But what if it does?
But what if it does? What if it actually pans out the way that you thought it was going to?
Yeah, and I'll say this too. I was telling somebody the other day. They're like, "When did you know that this was?" Like, this is what you were supposed to, what happened to validate what you were doing? I said, the first time someone paid me to do what I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
Then I go, people will pay me for this?
This is easy.
So what if it works?
Yeah.
It is working.
Yeah. And that's
it's like when I first started writing the book. People love to call themselves, hey, I would love to be able to say I'm an author one day or a doctor or whatever, right? The author thing, when I was writing the book, I was struggling with that imposter syndrome too. I'm like, well, once it's released, then I can say that I'm an author.
Yeah.
But I had a friend of mine who's released like 6 or 7 books. They told me like, no. The moment you start writing, you're an author.
Yeah.
And that was a limiting belief that I had to change.
Yeah.
You know? And now it's like, oh, I guess I am an author. I don't go around saying that all the time. Maybe I should. Maybe I should believe that more about myself. But
For
I just,
sure.
you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just one of those things like you are doing it. You are a successful business owner.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're able to support yourself and your family by going out there and doing your own thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
End of story. Anyway, you're on a tangent there.
Man, it's so good, and that's why we wanted to have this honest conversation because, we can talk video production, we can talk frameworks, we can talk this stuff, helping you as coaches or consultants do good work when it comes to telling your story on video, but ultimately we all struggle with this, even outside of business owners, but we all struggle with this, the what ifs, the I shoulds, the all of that. And so I hope today, if nothing else, if you're out there struggling, I hope that you write it down. I hope that you say it out loud. I hope that you repeat that. I hope that you continue to find those people in your life and that can just encourage you and start to say, this is who I see in you. And this is who you are because you're already doing that. And so if you're struggling today, take some time, write it out, say it out loud, send that text message. Who's that one person that comes to mind when I say that? Think of them, pull up the text message right now and just say, hey, can we chat? That it's as simple as that. Hey, can we chat? And just begin to say, you don't have to have all the questions. You don't have to have all the right things. Just say, I'm struggling. I need some help. And doing that will be a game changer for you. I promise. It will change everything. It's not going to take the problems away immediately, but it's going to give you a new framework, a new understanding, a new way of viewing it that might just change everything stepping forward. And so that is our encouragement to you today. And I hope that this kind of odd, kind of candid conversation piece has been an encouragement to you. And Dustin, thanks for sharing some of your thoughts and the things and the quotes and the stories and all that. Man, it's so good.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So good, so good. And with that, we will see you next time on the next Coaching with Content podcast. Go out and make it a great one.